Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Sip and Chat with T Lynn. Come on in, come on in. And when you do, remember to like or love and be sure to share. All right, we're going to share the love tonight, y'all. I am so excited and so happy to just be with you guys tonight. I have an amazing guest that oh, I can't say enough great things about her, but I love her so much. And why don't I just go on and stop and bring her on? How about that? Because otherwise I'm gonna be on here continuously talking about how much I love her. But anyway, I want to introduce to some of you guys, some of you may know her, some of you may not, but I want to introduce to you my friend, Lynn Delgaudio. Hey, Lynn.
T Lynn. We have the same name, Lynn and T
Yeah,
Lynn.
we do. T Lynn and Lynn. Yes, we do. Thank you so much for being a part of Sip and Chat tonight. I am so glad to have you. I just love you so much. I love your spirit. I just love you.
Right.
But before we get started, let's talk about what we're sipping on tonight because it is a sip and chat. So for me, I am enjoying some nice water. Got to get my water in for today because I haven't gotten enough. But what are you sipping on your side?
I got a couple things. I got some lemon water here, and then I have a little splash of sparkling rosé.
Yes.
I'm celebrating because I get to be here with you.
Oh, I love it. Celebrate with me, baby. I love it. So for those of you who don't know, Lynn and I actually met in nutrition school. We were both studying for our certification in integrative health. And yes, we both successfully graduated. But that is how I came to know Miss Lynn. And it was during a coaching circle that we had together.
Yes.
And collaborating back and forth for our different assignments. We learned so much about each other, and Lynn has a fantastic story. And what I love about her is she always remembers me, right? You always remember me, which I think is amazing because you'll be like, oh, T Lynn, sign up for this, or T Lynn, this is going on, or hey, T Lynn, make sure you come check this out. Like she always looks out for me, and I appreciate her staying in touch. And so anyway, bringing you on. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And yeah, you just made an impression. I remember back in the coaching circles, and I was like, hey, I love your energy. And I don't know, we just clicked. So
we did. And then we had the same name. So, I mean,
there you go.
It was just inevitable that we would continue a relationship afterwards. Yeah. So what have you been doing in your world since we graduated?
So I've been doing the one-on-one. I've got group coaching programs, but I tend not to do as much with those. I've got a program for people suffering with autoimmune disease. My book, Altered on Impact, came out last April.
Yeah.
We did a lot of, I had a lot of book signings until COVID. I develop health summits. So we take a topic and we get experts from all around the globe to view that topic from a different expert lens.
Yeah.
I'm working on some mini courses, and I've just got a lot of projects.
A lot. Look at you. You are busy.
And I did your show last week.
Yes. You came on and did the show with me last week. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which that was fun. That was definitely fun.
Last.
Yes. And sharing you. And then you made a great connection as well. So I hear you guys are linking up this coming Sunday.
Yes, we are.
That's phenomenal. Yeah. So you are making power moves for sure. And I'm so proud of you with the summit because that takes conference planning takes a lot. It takes a lot, but I love that you're doing it on not just a local level, but you're opening up to global, and that's big.
And actually involved kind of the periphery on this I can't say too much about it yet, but a
Yeah.
community that is going to be helping people get a leg up. It's going to be a place where people can go. Maybe they have been down in their luck. Maybe, as a result of being unemployed, they had lost their home or what have you. But it's going to be a place where people can go and they can stay for 3 days or 3 months. There's going to be a spiritual center. I mean, it's a big, 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 big deal.
Yeah.
That's a long-term project, but it's going to be helping a lot of people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And I know you can't share with the viewers a lot, but you and I have talked about it. And believe me when I say this is going to be an awesome community. Like, I wish that I had the time to somehow be involved with this, because that's how great of an idea and concept it is, to be able to help people.
You never know. Down the road, who knows,
Who knows? You're right. Who knows? Who knows? But to give our viewers a little extra insight. So we talked about your book. You shared your book a few minutes ago, Altered on Impact. Let's talk about what that really means, right? So you suffered traumatic injury, a traumatic injury to your brain, doing something that people do every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
So I know, but share a little bit with those that may not know.
So I had just finished a nice long run and I was feeling so good. And I just said, I want to do some weights. And so I went to the little gym area at the community where I lived. And I thought, I'm going to do some lat pull downs. That was the first thing I was going to do, where you sit on the bench. There's a metal bar above you would load the weight over. There's a pulley system. And I had about 80 pounds loaded or so. And on one of the pull downs, the entire system snapped. And so the bar came in crashing into my head with a force of 80 pounds. So my life changed in an instant, doing something I love. And that just changed the whole trajectory. It was in the healing process that was entirely unexpected, that I learned all these tools and strategies to not only help my mind heal, but my body heal. But it just had this amazing, profound, transformative. And so altered on impact, I was altered structurally, I was altered cognitively, and then I was just altered spiritually in a way that was so empowering.
Yeah. And it took a lot to recover. Like,
I'm still working on it.
There you go. And I'm like, people, sometimes we take everyday things that we do for granted, sometimes not realizing, who would have thought that was an injury that you could, happen to you, that you could get simply from just going and working out. And the wires, these are things that we trust every day. I know I've used that machine several times. Like, that's one of the things you do. It's one of the things the trainer will put you on in the middle of you working out. So to even think of such, I don't want to say a freak accident, because at the end of the day, look at the purpose that came out of it. Look at what happened with your life after that incident. You know what I mean? So it was literally turned around and used for your good. Mm-hmm. But man, like, and it's something you love to do. So do you still go back and work out? Like, how does that affect you now with going to the gym and working out?
Well, I mean, it took me a while before I could. Because I just was so weak, and it required, I had to have surgery and fix part of the spinal cord injury. And so it took a couple years before I could even rebuild. And even then I was very timid. Like, on that machine, I would only use the ones where there were certain, it wasn't that pulley system. I still had that fear that might happen again. I got over it. I just decided, it was a freak thing. I mean, so no, there's no more fear. I can work out. I mean, I'm not gonna go run a mile or 13 miles again. So now I walk, or I do the elliptical. I figure it out. There's plenty you can do.
Right.
So I do what I can.
It's just finding what works for you.
Yeah. I mean, if it was just, you can work out on your couch with your own body weight. I can do sit here and do crunches as I'm talking to you, and but so I figure it out.
Yeah.
And
So,
taught me appreciation, and so I'm very appreciative for whatever I can do every day, and that was a huge part of my healing, was to be in appreciation, and it's so powerful. And there's
and
neuroscience about why it's
that's exactly what I was getting ready to go to. It's like, so going through that process, I know, based on our conversation the other day, you got some amazing lessons. And that's one of the things I was telling Lynn before we came before you guys, was that I was like, man, some of the stuff we know, right? But then as we go through our own trials and as we go through our own experiences in life, sometimes we forget, right? But there were some major gems that you learned and that you came out of with this, because it wasn't all cookies and cream, with the process that you went through. Like, you went through some moments when you were like really angry, when you were really, just feeling some kind of way. But I want to get into some of the lessons that you walked away with. So what was some of the things that you experienced after that were major, pivotal moments for you?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to sound really simple and silly, but this was the thing that started the whole healing journey, was that, people would call to check on me and they would be so angry about this horrible thing. And aren't you mad and this and that? And I wasn't and at the beginning stage, I had no anger to begin with. When the pain got unbearable, that's when I went into victim mode. But for the most part, I couldn't understand why they went there.
Right.
But what I learned was that when people would call and they would start screaming and yelling about what a horrific thing this was, and I was never going to run again, or if I thought about my medical bills and the potential for bankruptcy, I very literally could feel my brain swelling in my head, and there was pressure and eye pain and nausea and dizziness, and I was literally re-traumatizing myself with my thoughts, or letting other people's thoughts come in.
Right.
So that one lesson: think bad, feel bad. Think good, feel good. So I was able to switch my thinking and think of an ocean instead. And that just calmed me down, And so then I realized I don't have to wait for someone to, for a stressor to enter my field. I can select what I want to think about at any given moment.
Yeah.
So it was like these little lessons like that along the way, and how being in appreciation feels so good. But if I slip into victim mode, I literally feel it in my body. My body was giving me indications all along the way. And we have somatic responses to our thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And so I became I had this heightened sensitivity to what my body was saying. And man, I was listening to it.
Yeah. And that's important, because a lot of times our bodies are just in general, right? Our bodies give us signals that something is going awry or something is going on, but we override it so much because we're so much in the throes of things and in the movement, you know what I mean, that we don't slow down to say, okay, what are you trying to tell me? Because for me, I had that same issue with stress. Like, for some reason, I learned to carry stress my whole life, and that it was okay. It's okay to have stress. There's good stress and there's bad stress, and it's okay to have stress. But as I got older, my body started responding differently to stress. And I had to listen, and it was in major ways that my body was starting to send signals. And it wasn't just, oh, I'm tired, or, oh, I have a headache. No, it responded in, like we've talked about before, autoimmune. Now, I don't have an autoimmune, but I did develop something that was activated, something that was in my genetics. It's called Raynaud's phenom. It's in my genetics, but it got activated by stress. And when I went to the doctor, I was like, why do my fingers, if I get the least bit of cold, my fingers will go turn blue. I was like, I look like I'm frostbitten. I'm like, what is that? And he was like, oh, it's this. And he was like, and this is what caused it. And I was like, wow, stress did that. But I didn't listen. And I didn't listen. And it led me down a path where literally I began to have symptoms of a stress heart attack, like the indicators that I was on the verge of a stress heart attack. And so I'm like, I'm young. why am I going through this? And the doctor's like, you have to, you have to start managing this stress a lot better. You're going to have to look at the things in your life that are triggers, and you're going to have to make some adjustments. And that's literally what you did. You looked at the things that were causing, like, to even say you felt your brain swelling.
Oh, it was bizarre.
That was, yeah, it was bizarre, but it was like your signal that it was too much stress. Like, that was bringing stress and triggering you to go back into, I love your word, victim mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so easy. And, I actually did have an autoimmune disease too. Back in 2003, I was diagnosed, but I healed through lifestyle change and mindfulness.
There you go.
I mean, it is so, and, even if we take 3 minutes every hour at the top of the hour, just to reset, we feel better, but we'd be far more productive. There's science out there proving that. So I just listened to my body and my intuition, and it was crazy. But when we go into victim mode, you can only be in one area of your brain at any moment of any time. And if you are in that victim mode, you can't grow and you can't heal and you can't learn. But if you're in your amygdala, you're in your PCC, and a lot of us right now, especially in the environment we're in with coronavirus and the messaging and the media, and it's keeping everybody in their like limbic brain, their amygdala, that we don't want to be there. And so, I learned all these ways to shift myself out, only because it just felt better. I mean, and that's because my brain couldn't really analyze much more than I feel good or I feel bad.
Right. I mean, that's fair. Like, yeah. But I totally get that. And you're right, because finding your happy place, or as my kids tell me all the time, go to your Zen place, mommy. Like, that's crucial. And I love that you use the beach. You took a place that you love being, and that's where you escaped to mentally whenever you felt it coming.
And then I learned, you know what? It's one thing to think about the ocean, but then it's another thing to think about the ocean and try to feel the breeze feathering over me and smell the salt air and like amplify that and bring the emotion into it. And these things just became fun for me. And it was like, that was my fun for the day. Such mush, but really powerful. And, when we're in appreciation, we're in a much more pure vibration. We're in a receptive mode. We can connect with something greater than ourselves when we're in that appreciative state.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you know what that reminds me of, like taking yourself there, is using your imagination. So for people, like, you have to tap into your inner child to be able to do that. You know what I mean? And so often, and my son and I had this conversation literally a few days ago. We were talking about tapping in. He was like, Mommy, you just don't have fun anymore, it doesn't seem. And I was like, I do have fun. He was like, no, you got to let yourself go. Like you used to tell me, use your imagination. And I'm like, you're right. So using your imagination does take you back to what you would do as a child. If you didn't have anybody to play with, you used your imagination with your toys as to what happened. But as adults, we come away from that stuff because we're so into the moment of reality that sometimes we forget how to take ourselves, not being all. So I don't know why I feel like I have to clarify this, but I will. Like, not being all crazy about it, but just like giving yourself a moment to just mentally escape. What's that commercial? Calgon, take me away.
Yeah. Oh, you're aging us.
Yeah. So like
the doorbell, the phone, the TV, like that was the stress back then. But the thing is, like, reality is overrated, and it's fine to watch the TV and check in and see what's happening in the world. But if it's gonna increase your stress level, stay away.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did use my imagination, because I used to, my body was so broken. It was so broke, and I was in such horrific pain. I won't go into it, but I had to use my imagination to envision that new version of myself that I wanted to be. I did not want to be this broken. I felt like an 85-year-old. I was operating at about 10% capacity, and coming from like an overachiever, highly functioning, athletic, to be now living at about 10% capacity. It was no way to live.
Mm.
I had to literally lift myself out of that and create. I didn't know what it looked like specifically, but I kind of had to be able to envision and feel it
Yeah.
some level, even
Yeah.
though, you know what I mean? So it took, and I write about that in the book a lot because that imagination is one of the things that really helped heal me.
And I was going to say, one of my favorite books is The Secret, right? By Rhonda Burns. It's one of my favorite books because I was one of those people that at one time in my life, I was trapped in a negative thought pattern. Excuse me. And, I couldn't seem to get out. So people would tell me stuff like, well, go read your Bible, renew your mind, read the Bible. And I'm like, I am reading my Bible, but this is not, and I know what the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. But that's not changing my mindset. But what I loved about The Secret was it took as a man thinketh, so is he. And it gave me practical steps to be able to achieve just that, to revamp my thinking. It didn't replace the word of God, but what it did do was it gave me practical ways to apply that thought to my life. And so in reading The Secret, that was one of the things that you had to do. Like, it would encourage you to see yourself. Like, if you want to be healed, see yourself as being healed. Like, imagine yourself being the person that you want to be. Imagine that. Then it would tell you about putting positive sayings around to help train your brain to attract those things to you. Because literally that's what we see. What is it? The glass is half full. It depends on who's looking at it and what their point of view in life is. So to some, they'll look at a glass that's half full or halfway to the halfway point and say, oh, the glass is half full. Others may look at it and say the glass is half empty. But it depends on where you are mentally and how you're viewing life. So if you're always looking at life negatively, then you're going to always you're going to quickly be able to point out the negative things that are going on around you. But if you're training your brain to be positive and you're feeding yourself more positive things, as I tell my son, if you take in a bunch of negative things, then you're going to always see a bunch of negative things. But if you're taking in a bunch of positive things, then you'll be able to pick out the positive even in a negative situation. It's all in how you train yourself. And so that book helped me to see that principle, as a man thinketh, so is he, in a more practical way that literally was life-changing for me. Literally life-changing.
Because we create the lens through which we view the world.
Yeah.
And after I went through all these processes, my boss even, I was still working at the bank. He even noticed a sustained difference. He wanted to understand like what I was doing because I was so happy. I was so consistent. I was so productive. I still had the same crappy job, I still had the same chaos all around me, but because I had changed the lens, it was like I took a love pill.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden everything was right.
Everything is groovy, man. Everything is groovy.
Man, I gotta tell you, it's 7:25. I just started talking to you like a minute ago. How does this happen?
Because it's always time always flies when we're having fun. That's how that happens. But it's okay. We still got a little bit of time.
Yeah. But you know what? We talk a lot about this on the summit I'm working on now is it's called Blessed and De-Stressed. And it's all about stress and stress management. And then the one after that's going to be about anxiety. I told you, a friend of mine recently killed herself because she couldn't take the stress anymore. And you know what? My gosh, if anyone out there is feeling, it's normal to feel stressed. It's normal to feel anxiety.
Yeah.
It's natural. But there are resources. And I did a post on LinkedIn and Facebook. There are resources. There's lots of good resources out there. And sometimes, it's like the asking for the help is the hardest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but ask, because believe me, there's somebody out there that would love to help you. There are people in place that are there to help you, to encourage you, and to help you not feel so alone. Just open yourself up to receive the help that you need. That's for sure. You
Yeah.
know, even when it's hard, if you can't do nothing but just say help, just get that out. Just get the word help out.
Yeah.
So someone can help you. It doesn't have to end that way.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't.
Mm-mm.
But man, oh man, Lynn, I love talking to you. See, this is why we vibed so well, y'all, when we were in class. Like, we just vibed. We got it. We understood it. Don't you love her energy? Look at her. I mean, like, to go through all that you went through and then to say, I got to find myself a happy place. And then you did that. Look at how life is producing for you.
You know what? It was divine intervention in my book. I'm just really blessed.
Absolutely.
I am. Yeah.
Yes, you are. So for those that want to partake in your summit, right? Because we can't mention the summit and then not give information on how they can do that. How can people link up with you to sign up for your next summit?
So it's not available for sign up yet, but we can put you on an early list, mailing list. So LynnDelgaudio.com. And right now, and I'm hoping it'll be right now, you're going to see a page to just put in your email, because I'm completely revamping my entire website and I'm so excited. Oh my God, it's going to be beautiful. I cannot wait. But go there. You can still input your information, LynnDelgaudio.com, and you can find me on social media. And, I'm active on LinkedIn and somewhat on Facebook.
Now, can people get your book
On Amazon
as well?
Yep.
Okay, so they can get that from Amazon. And are they able to get it from you too? Because don't get me wrong, we love buying from Amazon, but if we can support the author directly, is there a way that they can purchase?
Listen to this. I'm gonna send you a copy. I have. So I had all these events lined up, and then COVID, boom, and then they all canceled. So I've got a box of books.
Yes.
So if anyone would like an autographed copy, I'm happy to do that.
I would like an autographed copy.
No, you're getting one anyway.
Okay, awesome. Woo-hoo. So can they get that at Lynn Delgaudio too? Can they get that at your website as well? Can they get the book from your website as well?
They will, yeah. Yes,
awesome.
They can.
So the magic word tonight, you guys, is LynnDelgaudio.com. And it's at the bottom of your screen in case you don't know how to spell it. LynnDelgaudio.com. Make sure you go there. Well, Lynn,
T Lynn.
Time flies when we're having fun, but I'm so grateful for your journey. I'm so grateful for our paths crossing. I can't wait to see what we get in together as life continues to play out. I really want you guys to go support her. LynnDelgaudio.com. Make sure you go sign up for the summits, different topics, something for everyone at some point. Find what's for you. And most importantly, make sure that you share, like, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with the sipping chats, but also share the love, because someone out there needs the information that we shared tonight. They need the positive boost that we gave tonight. And guess what? We don't know them, but you do. And the only way they're going to find out about this is if you share it with them. So make sure you share tonight with someone that you know needs the information that we're sharing. Remember to go check us out. Check my blog out at recognizingtherealme.com. And I think that's all the chat I have for you tonight, because Lynn and I are we're going to continue chatting like we always do. But as for our chat publicly, that has come to an end. Thank you so much, Lynn. I'm so grateful for you. Can't wait to see what else you have going on. And as always, you guys, remember today is a great day to make a difference in the lives of those around you. I'm T Lynn Tate, and this has been Sip and Chat with T Lynn. I'll check you guys out in a couple of weeks. Have a good one.